Hi, Bill York, owner and CEO of the Odor Guys and Defender Products. Wanted to talk to you a little bit today about ozone machines. These are a couple of the typical ozone machines that we use to remove cigarette and other odors from vehicles. The one on the left uses a separate tube, and the one on the right actually was retrofitted so that it can fit in the passenger side window to access the interior of the car in order to do the corrective ozone work that's needed to remove cigarette odor and that type of thing from automobiles, trucks, motorhomes. As you can see, these units aren't toys. They're not the size of a shoebox. There's a lot of misconceptions about ozone use. Ozone is absolutely the best way to alleviate odors in a rapid fashion. There are other processes that we've used, and we don't like them as well. And there's a lot of misconceptions about the corrosiveness and whatnot of ozone. Ozone is naturally occurring in the atmosphere, so that if it was a very, very corrosive situation, how do our houses stay together? How do the rubbers in your doors and windows and everything in your home stay intact? A shock ozone treatment, taking an hour or two in a vehicle to eliminate cigarette odors and that type of thing, is absolutely super effective. It's not going to damage anything in the vehicle. So we're just going to talk a little bit today about this. I wanted to show you a couple of the units that we have that we take in the field to do some of our work. As you can see, there's a complete unit on the left, and the one on the right is retrofitted to do its job. These units have to stay outside of a vehicle in order to process ozone effectively. And I know that there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and you've seen videos with guys that have bought small units that they put in the vehicle. The problem with ozone is it needs oxygen in order for it to work. In order for these units to produce oxygen, they have to be in an oxygen-rich atmosphere. The unit has to stay outside of the area that's being treated. I mean, what happens is the units will consume themselves with ozone, and there's no oxygen to be fed into the unit in order for it to produce the ozone, the O3. There's a big misconception that you buy something, you put it inside the car, you start it up, and get the process moving. That's only good to a point. That unit is only going to be producing ozone, O3, when it has oxygen that it can utilize to produce the O3. When you get a unit and you put it in the same environment that you're trying to treat, which is a small area inside a car or a truck, a motorhome, whatever it may be, after a while it will consume itself with the O3 that it's trying to produce, and it will not produce ozone, O3, any longer. So whatever unit that you have, if you can feed oxygen to it, that is how that ozone is being created with these machines. We don't fool around with little tiny units, and that's why we get so many calls from dealers and people that say, well, I've had that vehicle back to the dealer 5 or 6 times. They can't get the smell out of it. Of course they can't. If they've got a small shoebox type ozone unit, those usually don't produce anywhere near enough horsepower to eliminate the odors that they're trying to do. And then you've got the added nonsense that you've got that unit sitting in the same environment it's trying to treat. So underneath the glove box on the passenger side in the footwell is exactly where the unit needs to be off-gassing the O3 in order to get it into the car. So what the process is you set the car on recirculate, you start the car, put it on recirculate, AC, you want it cold. These units don't work extremely efficiently in high humidity. You're eliminating the humidity factor. You're running the access tubes in through the passenger's window, down into the footwell, and you're going to start the machines up, and all of the inside air is going to be recirculated through these cabin filters and through the complete air conditioning heating duct system. So any mold, any type of anything that's growing in there will be eliminated. Odors, we're letting the car air conditioner do its job. It's blowing throughout the whole interior of the vehicle, and that's how the process works. It oxidizes and for lack of better words, blows up any odor causing molecules that are in, the fabric, the leather, the headliner, plastics to a certain degree. Definitely having the vehicle detailed, vacuumed out, cleaned, and wiped down, so that any residual staining or any residual cigarette nicotine is removed and wiped down, and that way you're going to have a clean environment to start this process with. We can't really do anything effectively unless the vehicle is somewhat clean. I absolutely suggest that the cabin filters are changed before doing any treatments. That way that assures you that you have a clean filter to start with. The air is going to circulate and the ozone is going to go freely through the vehicle and through the system. So that is our best recommendations. I'm going to show you how to set this up, how we access these through the passenger's window, and putting the vehicle on recirculate, AC, and the temperature down to as low as it can go. We taped off the window in the vehicle so that we are keeping the majority of the ozone inside the vehicle during the treatment process. That particular unit has a very small discharge hose. It's about ½ inch, ¾ inch discharge. The other one is a flexible dryer hose that we've adapted, retrofitted on the end. That can be accessed the same way. You roll the window down, accommodate the hose in there to get it affixed to underneath the footwell on the passenger side, and basically tape up around it. Now, are you going to use some of that painter's tape? Absolutely. You're going to have to use a little more with a bigger hose. But that's a unit that has a 3/4 horse drive blower, so that's going to really be blowing a ton of ozone into that vehicle to treat it. So that's basically an ozone treatment, shock treatment in a vehicle. But the only way that you can do this and have it done correctly is to utilize an ozone machine that allows itself to make ozone being outside the vehicle. We do hundreds of cars a year here at the Odor Guys. People bring their vehicles in. We go to dealerships and do dealer vehicles. It's usually between 1 and 2 hours for the treatment to happen, and we're very reasonably priced on the service that we provide. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. We'll have some more informational videos along with our products and different things that we have going on. So thank you again for watching. And please let us know if we can be of any help. Thank you. Take care.